from the House of Assembly this week. OGUN Assembly approves 2025-2027 medium-term expenditure framework. OGUN Assembly assures UNICEF of legislative support to improve pupils' enrollment. OGUN Assembly passes power sector bill, resolves land issue at ILARO. Sit back and enjoy the rest of the program as we bring to your viewing pleasure.
Ogun State House of Assembly in the outgone week acknowledged the state governor Prince Dakwa Abiodun's request for the approval of the 2025-2027 State Medium-Term Framework (MTEF) by the Assembly ahead of the preparation of the state 2025 budget. The Speaker, Right Honorable Oludaisi Lemide, acknowledged the governor's correspondence dated 23 August 2024 during the plenary held at the Assembly Complex Okemoso Abeokuta. According to the correspondence, in compliance with the relevant sections of the Ogun State Fiscal Responsibility Law 2020 as amended, Governor Abiodun informed the Speaker and other honorable members of the State House of Assembly that the Executive Council has considered and endorsed the preferred 2025-2027 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework (MTEF) for the state. The governor in the letter also sought the Assembly's consideration and approval of the 2025-2027 State Medium-Term Expenditure Framework (MTEF) to facilitate the process of planning and budgeting for year 2025 and the outer years of 2026 and 2027.
Presenting the report of House Committee on Finance and Appropriation was its chairman, Honorable Wahab Aruna, who thereafter moved the motion for the adoption of the report, which was seconded by Honorable Lukman Adeleye and supported by the whole House through a voice vote. The MTEF report was later read and adopted sector by sector before the Committee of the whole House, which saw the adoption of sectoral allocations comprising personnel, overhead and capital expenditures of the state's different sectors for years 2025 to 2027. Thereafter, the Majority Leader, Honorable Yusuf Sharif, moved the motion for the passage of the House resolution, seconded by Honorable Lukman Adeleye and supported by the whole House through a unanimous voice vote. Speaker Elemide thereafter directed the Clerk of the House and Head of Legislative Services, Shakiru Adebaki, to convey the House resolution to the concerned authorities, including the Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Olaolu Olabinto, for the preparation of the state year 2025 budget. The lawmakers had earlier in the day engaged the Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Olaolu Olabinto, where they sought more budgetary allocation for the education and agriculture sectors with a view to improving food security through mechanized farming. Members at the session appealed to the state government to ensure increased investment in mechanized farming and rural development while improving on the funding of key sectors that would contribute to ease of doing business. Olabinto explained that funding of other areas linking the sectors including infrastructure, transportation, security and other statewide intervention programs were part of the strategies meant to fulfill the mandate in some of the sectors referred. He also underscored the need to embark on agro-business and take advantage of its value chain to empower the people.
The Deputy Speaker, Honorable Bolanle Ajayi, who presented the report of the Committee of the Whole House on the State Power Sector Law 2024, chaired by the Speaker, Right Honorable Oludaisi Elemide, also moved the motion for its adoption, seconded by the Minority Leader, Honorable Lukman Adeleye, and supported by other members through a voice vote. The bill was later read and adopted clause by clause before the Committee of the Whole House, after which the motion for its third reading was moved by the Majority Leader, Honorable Yusuf Sharif, seconded by Honorable Adeleye, and supported by the whole House through a unanimous voice vote. Thereafter, the Clerk of the Assembly, Shakiru Adebakri, took the third reading of the bill before the lawmakers, after which the Speaker, Elemide, directed that the clean copy of the bill be transmitted to the State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, for his assent.
In his opening remarks at the meeting jointly called by the OGUN and Oyo State's House of Assembly, presided over by the Speaker, Right Honorable Oludaisi Elemide, while that of the Oyo State House of Assembly was represented by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Mohammed Fadeyi, said the boundary issue among the three affected Southwest states is a family matter that could be resolved amicably. Commending the Oyo Assembly for the visit, Elemide explained that the unity, peaceful coexistence and development of the Southwest remains sacrosanct, stressing the need for the officials of the National Boundary Commission to be present at the next meeting, as the team would have to undertake a joint physical verification to the sites to address all the issues raised by the representatives of the affected boundary communities. He called on the residents of the boundary communities to remain calm and allow peace to reign, saying that the governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, and his Oyo State counterpart, Engineer Seyi Makinde, would be duly notified on the progress made by the two state houses of assembly.
We will, by the special grace of God, get to the root of the matter and find a lasting solution. All we want is peace in our land, peace in Ogun State, peace in Oyo State, peace in Nigeria, and we shall definitely achieve that.
In his remarks, the Oyo State House of Assembly Deputy Speaker, Honorable Fadeyi, said that their mission was to team up with their counterparts in Ogun State to find a lasting solution to the issue of boundary conflicts between Oyo and Ogun State involving communities and villages. He said the issue was raised on the matters of urgent public importance on the floor of Oyo State House of Assembly, hence the need to solicit the support of the Ogun State House of Assembly and the representatives of the affected villages to come together with their Oyo counterparts to find a legislative means of addressing the perennial conflicts.
As legislators, what we are here for is to find a legislative means of settling the dispute, come up with a solution to ending some of these crises.
Also contributing, a member representing Waterside State constituency, Honorable Samsidin Lawal, the representative of the State Ministry of Justice, who is also the Director of Legislative Drafting in the Ministry of Justice, Barrister James Mafe, and the State Surveyor General Oladele Ewulo, recalled the efforts and progress made by the state in resolving the issues in the past, noting that the issues will be amicably resolved with the involvement of the officials from the National Boundary Commission. Others who made representations at the parley included the representatives of the State Ministry of Agriculture, baales, representatives and residents of the affected communities, amongst others.
The need to accelerate actions on reducing the number of out-of-school children in Ogun State necessitated the advocacy meeting between the Ogun State House of Assembly and the team from the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, led by the Chief of Lagos Field Officer, Celine Lafour. Speaker, Right Honorable Oludaisi Elemide said, for Ogun State to retain its pride of place in the education sector, it was imperative for all hands to be on deck to address the prevalent issue of out-of-school children in the Southwest and the country at large. He noted that as lawmakers, part of their commitment was to embark on intervention, constituency projects, through donation of educational facilities, including blocks of classrooms, organizing summer classes, facilitating donations to schools from philanthropists to complement the efforts of the state government at providing conducive environment for teaching and learning in schools across the state.
You have really done well for coming. We want to improve the standards. We want to move knowledge forward. We want to raise the bar, and we will be willing to partner with UNICEF to achieve all this.
Other lawmakers who contributed assured UNICEF of sustained synergy with government and non-governmental organizations to further enhance access to educational opportunities by pupils in their constituencies. They ascribed the high statistics of dropout and out-of-school pupils in the country to the rising spate of insecurity and eroded cultural values occasioned by the influx into the country by people from neighboring countries. Earlier, the Chief of Lagos Field Officer, United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, Celine Lafort, who ruled out the statistics of out-of-school children and dropout across levels of education in the country, attributed to various factors, including inadequate evidence-based policies, limited budget allocation, shortage of teachers and classrooms, poor infrastructure, cultural norms, health and safety concerns, as well as child labor, among others. She reaffirms UNICEF's readiness to develop models for reducing the number of out-of-school children and increasing the retention, transition, and completion of adolescents from primary to secondary school levels, while advocating the need for parents to have a firm belief in educational system.
There's quality education, there's gathering of data, which is crucial. How many children do you have in the States that are out of school? How many teachers do you have and where? Are they working? Are they simply cashing the salary and doing something else? Are they working? These are all the questions that you, I'm sure, worry about every day. Where are they? Are they trained? What are they teaching our children? Are they on the job? Are they cashing their salary and caring about the mandate that they have? Because being a teacher is not like being a mechanic. It's a mandate, just like when you work for UNICEF, just like when you work for a House of Assembly. You have a mandate at heart, otherwise you don't do it. So where are they? Are they trained? Are they asking to be trained if they're not trained? Are they on the job? Are they in the schools? Are they caring for our children? Are they teaching them something? For that we need data. We need to consolidate the data system, right? And we need to have a perfect picture of what is happening. How many teachers, how many additional teachers do you need? How many additional teachers does OGUN State need? So all of these questions, that's why we're here today, to say we need your support, we need the support of the House of Assembly in each of your constituencies to be able to identify the children that are out of school, to be able to know the schools that are available for them, to work with traditional leaders, to work with families, to work with all the stakeholders in the constituencies to be able to channel the children back into school. Once we've done that, we've not done it all. We need to know if there's sufficient teachers. We need you to advocate for an increased budget for education in Ogun State to make sure that you can have the right amount of teachers, that those teachers can have the right amount of capacity, can have access to quality education. Of course, we're not naive in UNICEF. We know that 0 children out of school is a bit of a pie in the sky, as the British would say. But those who can, those who want to, those who have no specific barriers, once we have lifted the barriers to education, should be in education, because that's the future of tomorrow. That's the future of what Nigeria will be like tomorrow. So I'll stop here. What I want to really emphasize is that UNICEF is here to support you. There is a lower rate of out-of-school children in the southwest than in the rest of the country. That's for sure. However, OGUN in the southwest has a higher rate than the southwest rate. So the southwest stands for primary at 6.2, when OGUN stands at about 10.2, something like that. So it needs to be seized. The moment needs to be seized. We know that by 2050, the population develop exponentially, and then we'll have a much bigger issue ahead of us. Fantastic collaboration with Ogun State in many different areas of work, whether it's health, whether it's access to water and sanitation, whether it's education today. My staff work here very often with many of the actors in the state. It's a state with which we get on extremely well and work well, and I'm truly hoping that we can make headways. We have commitments for you today for us to sign together in each of your constituencies to be able to identify those children and rechannel them towards the schools, and we'll work on the quality of education.
In her remarks, the UNICEF education specialist, Azuka Menkiti, sought for strategies to increase enrollment to boost the interest of school children, while working assiduously with all stakeholders in the legislative arm to ensure seamless access to quality education.
Basically, UNICEF in Nigeria, on the work we do on education, is around 3 areas. We work on improving access to education. We work on strengthening the systems, and also work on ensuring that even when we bring children to school, they come to school and they actually learn, and we're able to help support them to improve learning outcomes. So these are the 3 key areas of work we are doing in UNICEF, and all of them are connected. Now, recently, the country office has decided that one of the key areas that UNICEF education program should focus on is on accelerating access to children who are not in school. Issues of out-of-school children has been a very big headache to everybody in Nigeria, a huge concern to everybody, including the national government and the state governments. We have done a series of analysis, and we realized that only 8 states in Nigeria contribute to the, whether it is 10.1 million or 20,000 million or whatever figures that we are mentioning, but only 8 states contribute to this. And fortunately, Southwestern State is not part of it. But then, we have gone deeper to do a series of analysis in our different data collection programs. I remember that when we presented the data in Oyo, there were a lot of pushback. But we all agreed there, because we had the commissioners of education and the suburb chair and members of the House of Assembly. We all agreed that it doesn't matter what the figure is. What is important is that there are children who are missing education in every state in Nigeria. And very well, the good news is that Southwestern Nigeria is not part of the big states that give us the big numbers. But then there are children who are missing education in this state. Like Celine mentioned, 6.2% of the children in this state who are of primary school age are not in school. And about 8 point something percent are not in lower secondary school. And 19.2 are missing secondary education. Which means when they get into primary, they get into lower secondary, and they begin to drop out of school. So we have a huge number of children who are missing education at the senior secondary level in Ogun State. While the Southwestern zone is looking at about 24%, Ogun State has 19.2% of children who are missing secondary education. So it's a huge concern that, I mean, no matter how little the percentage is, we should be able to look out for who these children are and where they are. Now, for us in UNICEF Nigeria across the country, our work on access is looking at 4 core areas. We're looking at supporting states to scale up models that we have been able to use across the country to bring more children to school. We're also looking at expanding access to those who are not in school through multiple flexible pathways. Not every child who is not in school will want to come back to the four walls of a classroom. So we're also exploring and supporting states to begin to build models of accredited multiple alternative pathways that we can use. There are opportunities for community learning hubs, opportunities for TV and radio programs. We also have our Nigerian Learning Passport I'm sure that we all know about learning passports. I don't know whether Ogun is one of the eastern states, but I know Ekiti is there, and Lagos is doing very well on our learning passport. So these are all pieces of work that we are working on to ensure that children who are out of school are able to come to school. Now, we have also identified what are the core reasons why these children are missing education. Poverty is one of the key ones. We all know that children who are not going to school, majority of them is because there are direct and indirect costs of education. There are issues of payments, cost of transportation. Recently, we had this increase in transportation. So that as legislators, you help us to begin to look at what are the mitigation measures we need to put extra to make sure that when we are identifying those who are not in school ordinarily, we're also looking at those who are at the risk of dropping out because of the current economic situation in the country. Now, looking at the data deeply for the Southwest, the out-of-school children among primary school, we have about 25.6% across the country that are missing education. That's 1/4. Then in the Southwest, 6.2% of the children in the Southwest are not in school. So for Ekiti, those who are not in school is 2.4%. For Lagos State, 2.5%. And Ogun State, 10.3%. For Ondo, 4.5%. Osun is 13%. And Oyo is 8.3%. That is for primary school age. For junior secondary school, the total is 24.9, still within the one out of 4 for the whole of the country. And then Southwest, 24.9. That's also almost quarter. Yes, for junior secondary school. And for the Southwest, averagely 8.5. So if you look at it, when we compare Southwest with other zones, we are doing very well. What are those factors that are making them to leave school that as we move further, we have higher number of out-of-school children? So for out-of-school children among of upper secondary school, the overall figure for Nigeria is 19.2%. No, 34.3%. And then for the Southwest is 19.2% averagely.
The Assembly considered the report of the Committee on Lands and Housing on a petition from Ifedakwa CDA on behalf of Olorungbemileke CDA in Okeala and Akede Sale Oshoba, ILARO, in Yewa South local government area, written against Philip Otegbeye family in ILARO in respect of an expanse of land in Okeala. According to the chairman of the committee, Honorable Damilola Shoneye, who rendered the committee report, the Assembly recommended that all occupants within Philip Otegbeye family land should pay a sum of 350,000 naira as ratification fee on a plot of land, including developed and underdeveloped land, to the family of Philip Otegbeye as agreed by both parties through the intervention of Olu of ILARO, the paramount ruler of Yewa land, Oba Kende Lugbenle, on Friday, 22nd of March, 2024.